Hi everybody, how you doing? I'm Pabs, a Rising VTuber and an artist. Today we're going to be working on coloring page 4, which I actually started doing in my off time. As you can see, I've gotten the first 2 panels done. Now we're moving on to panel technically 3. I have 2 little ones right here, but that's just to show that a little bit of time has passed. Just a small bit of... What is that one? Subterfuge? Is that the word I'm looking for? Subterfuge. I don't feel like it is. But yes, essentially it's a little panel trick. You don't really start to think about those until you have to like make a comic yourself. Although I've seen it done in some very interesting ways. Anyway, what we're going to be doing here is very basic. I'm not going to try to overcomplicate it for myself. In fact, what I might do just now is a very sneaky thing and just grab the area up here and just add a few tufts of grass here and there. I have the power to do that. I have the rulers. Oh wow, that's kind of neat. I didn't remember that it used the colors of the... Hang on. If I kind of do it like this, is that gonna do it like this? Oh wait, no, hang on. Like this, I mean. Yeah, there we go. Alright, we move. No, that looks too fine, that's the problem. It's too small. Look at how teeny and gormless it is. Now I'm gonna use this instead. This tool. This brush. Wait, I can just make patches of grass. I don't need... Hang on. There we go. It's probably going to be covered up by people anyway, so I might as well just kind of get a little loosey-goosey with it. What the... Oh, I see. Hang on. There we go. But yeah, not thinking too hard about it. Now, what I will need to think hard about is 2 things. First, the shadows on the floor here, because... Oh boy, I have chosen a bad structure to do this with. Light sources on these are a little bit busted. But that's okay, we'll figure it out. Actually, generally, don't I just need to draw a kind of messed up shape and people will be like, yeah, that tracks? I feel like I can get away with that. Although I will need to make sure to make at least this one here. Ooh, should I be drawing this all in the same layer? Fuck it, we ball. Anyway, I'm sure if I... I'm sure if I try to do something like this, where I make sure that one part of it is just very straight to represent the kind of like box thing, and then make the rest of it all kind of like loosey-goosey, like this, maybe a little bit further in. I'm sure I can get away with it. I'm sure even if light doesn't refract or bend properly, we can blame it on something else. Yeah, the sun was out sick that day. Light didn't work too good. I think maybe even like more... Hang on, first let's see where the characters are. Because that'll help us get a reference for like where each light thing needs to be. Now that might be a problem because there is this one chunk of rock like right here. Hold up. There's like a chunk of rock like right next to where Hawk would be standing. Actually, you know what? I think the main reason I put this one here is just so I would have to I could get away with not drawing the bottom half of this guy's legs. Conversely, now the problem is this guy's arms are too small. Right, we can do a little bit of patch up real quick. A little bit of triage. First, we need to make this guy's hands bigger. Then, after that... Yeah, that's at least a little bit more reasonable than what it was before. The perspective isn't quite so messy. Well, I still feel like I should give it a little bit more juice. Just a little bit more. And over here, we'll just elongate this part here. Are you supposed to pronounce it elongate or elongate? That's one of those that I've never really had to really think about. I think it's elongate. Although I will say, I finally got around to watching the Hbomber guy's video on plagiarism and YouTube, and I did not know that banal was pronounced like that. I very near. I'm so glad I'm not the kind of guy who says banal frequently. Really dodged a bullet there, just by not saying anything. I remember reading once upon a time this one piece of advice that said, like, oh, never miss a good opportunity to shut up. And I think it's valuable, but unfortunately, as an internet nano celebrity, I unfortunately cannot let that happen. Yeah, I think if I shrink down this part here... Oh wow, that goes on for a little bit, huh? That's good though, I need that. Okay, and if I put this here... Ooh, maybe we can accomplish a similar solution. We will need to get rid of this little bit of the metal here, although perhaps we can imply it through the shading. I think that would be the best choice. Yes, let's do that. Okay, the next step will be the part here. Can I literally just like airlift this and plonk it down here? Would that be illegal? Is that allowed? I mean, I have it in vector layers. I can do it if I wanna. No harm in trying. Lay up. Okay, I don't think it's gonna work as is. Let's see what. Let me try some. Let me try a couple of things real quick. Hey, Preston, how you doing? I'm trying to see if I can get away with some schmoofment on this pillar here. I don't think I will though. But yeah, how have you been? Maybe if I flip it around. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yo, hang on. I might almost do it. I might really be the one to do it. Not doing too good, huh? Or is that or is that kind of like... I have been? You've been doing okay? Okay, that's good. Hang on. Then maybe if I can just kind of grab these. I need to find a way to avoid grabbing that one. Yeah, there we go, like that. Still looking for a job? Hang in there, it's tough right now. Well, it's not like it's ever been easy, but from what I understand it right now, it's you're definitely not going through it alone. I imagine job hunting is kind of a nightmare for everyone right now. So hang in there, bud. You got this. Wait. We'll go like this. Actually, I could just redraw this line. At least I have my friend the Bracken. Ah, yes. Lethal Company. I have heard of this. I have not played the game. But from what I understand, it looks like it's very much a comedic timing simulator. Not gonna lie, the first time I learned the Bracken's name was when somebody on Twitter did a poll that's like Bracken Smash or Pass, and I'm like, huh, what's that thing? And then I was like, oh, okay, he's always there for me. Yeah, there you go. Let's see, then over here. There we go. Yeah, I think that'll fool anybody who's not looking too closely. We can go with this. Boy, that was way easier than the 40 seconds it would have taken me to set up a new primitive here. Bullet dodged. Let me try and thicken up the lines here a little bit too. Can I? The decision for Lethal Company to allow it to still talk for a split second as you're about to die is an amazing decision. Yeah. There's this artist I follow on Tumblr who recently did a thing about a Lethal Company where they're like, bro, don't go in there, there's a turret. And they're like, it's fine. And there's like loud gunfire for about 5 seconds. They're like, guys, it's fine, I lived. And then they start screaming and they hear like something snap in there. Oh, lordy. Maybe I should tap in. I don't know. I'm kind of renowned for being a pussy about horror games, but I feel like this might be the one. Okay. All right, we got that cooking. Now we have... Where is my lines for the boxes? Oh, there we go. You see the fingers wrap around your head, belt out a powerful scream, then get your neck snapped and dragged into the darkness? Christ. I'm trying to think of a funny joke to say about that, but that's kind of hard material to work with. Select color gamut, this one right here. Yeah, I'm gonna do this on a separate layer. Why is that different? Oh, wait, hang on. Is that... Which layer is that on? No, that should be the same layer. Why? Huh? Hang on. Open this up. Alright, now we should be good. Man, what the hell? What? Oh, hang on. Wait, what? Where is that? What layer is that on? Lethal Company is amazing even when you die early because you get to watch your friends run around like rats in a maze. God, the dramatic irony of it. All right, time to use my secret technique. Button that selects which layer it's on. Ah, so you're the wise guy, huh? Or actually, maybe it's also related to the thing here. Hang on. No, it's not related to that. All right, let me try something different. Select color gamut, this one here. Okay, now we're cooking. I won't spoil any of the enemies, but I do want to talk about my favorite, the Nutcracker. Oh, I remember hearing about that. That one's a guy that's carrying a gun around, right? Like, I think it detects movement or something. Let's see. Or am I thinking of a different one? Yep, alright. Let's go. Cultural osmosis. Man, it's a weird thing that they. It's a little weird to me that in Phasmophobia they never talked about like the ghost, but in Lethal Company everybody's like, "That's my friend, the Beast." I think I know the Loot Bug and the Bracken and also the Nutcracker. Those are the three that I know of Lethal Company lore. Question mark. Seeing your buddy get fucking blasted is horrifying because their voice just gets cut out. It's just like Looney Tunes. Rest in peace, Tom Jones. You would have loved Lethal Company. If any of the original voice actors for Looney Tunes had gotten in on like live streaming or VTubing, they would have had fucking legendary careers. I do wonder why more voice actors don't actually get into live streaming as VTubers. I feel like they'd be killing it out there. Probably because they're too busy working. From what I understand, it's not exactly a easy gig. Oh look, there's a V engine here. Alas, obliterated. Hang on, I just had a funny idea. Could I not, perhaps in theory, just grab the shadows from this second panel? Hold up. If this works, it's going to be really funny. Even if it doesn't, it might be really funny. Okay, I forgot that there's supposed to be tiles here. I don't know. Are the tiles too much? Do the tiles, like, add anything? I feel like they add a little something, but I wish they were, like, less thick. Maybe there's a way to, like... Hang on. Select... Oh yeah, I forgot that it makes it as an infinite material. Alright, here's how we do. We invert the selection. We expand by 1 pixel. How's that looking? You know what? That's not too bad. I'll take it. Oh god, modded enemies. Now, see, my first question would be, why would you do that to yourself? But I know perfectly well why you would do that to yourself. I like it. Nice. All right. We'll go with that then. Okay, now let's see here. If I can somehow jury rig this thing. All right, so here, 2-step process. First, we get this thing into frame. Then we select the area here. Yeah, forgetting about this layer for a minute. I like the one that mimics player voices by repeating what they've said before. That's fucked up. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like that. Alright, put the mask here, unlink that. And now... The issue is that... The issue is that it still has the silhouettes of like the guys there. You can see that a little bit, right? Alright. Undo some of that. What we need to do is to figure out a way. Alright, here we go. Okay. It's the sections right. Even beneath the main color layer, I think. Just the sections right here. Have fun with the rest of the stream. I just wanted to shoot the shit real quick. Hell yeah. Thank you for coming by. Alright. We're going to collect this one real quick. Select color gamut. This one right here. Alright, now we back. Wait, no, hang on. We still need. Wait a minute. Hey, Vin, how you doing? We're doing a little bit of shading over here. I'm trying to figure out the minimum effort way to get this shape, general shadow shape, into the panel below. And I have no idea if it's going well. Doing peachy? Nice, good to know. Glad to hear it. Alright, this should work. Possibly. Alright. Drag this up here, mix those. Select color gamut, this one here. Copy that. Undo all of that. Alright, this has got to work. Alright, we're going to put this here, then move it down here. Okay, I don't know why that still didn't select this guy here. Oh, because it's on the same layer. Hang on. Okay, there we go. Just fill in these bits here. Also here. Okay, yeah, we can, this is working. We can just kind of forward engineer. I'd say reverse engineer, but that doesn't feel appropriate for what we're doing. Okay, then add a little bit through here. Perfect. I think. Possibly? Ah, screw it, close enough. Get in there. All right, we move it like this. Yes, yes. Okay. Whenever I do something like this with like art, and I feel like I'm massive brain for it, I feel like that one Yu-Gi-Oh meme where it's like, I'm doing it, I'm thinking. Ay, ay, ay. Hmm. Okay, if I stretch it out like that, it should work now, I think. Yeah, okay. I feel like this placement makes sense. We can use the rough eraser to get rid of the rest of this. If I blur the shadows, do you think anybody will notice once this is all over? I mean, it wouldn't hurt to just do a quick trace out of them just so it's removing all these jaggy bits here. Well, I mean, the unintended jaggy bits, at least. Nothing we can do about the rust. There we go. Okay, and then put this here. Pull this part here. We need to put that below the actual line work, but that's fine. And we can put Hawk's shadow right here. Okay, then a little bit here, a little bit there. Hmm. Yeah, alright, this'll work. Let's use the +1 area scaling thing. Then right over here, we'll just have the rest of the shadows. And then finally after that, a little bit right here. This'll do. This'll do. Okay. We'll worry about the other shadows as the time comes by. Yeah, this one's gonna be... well, I mean... No, hang on. I'm doing this all wrong. Let me erase this part here. The problem is that the shadows are dragging toward the left? Right, toward the right. I know the directions. Those have always been a super huge pain in the butt for me. I don't know if I've ever told y'all. I had such a difficult time remembering left and right in as a child that I was using the your left hand makes an L shape with your thumb and index finger trick until I was like well in my mid-teens. I don't know why. My sense of direction is fine. I just have really bad memory with like the two main directions. It's very odd. Also, I need to like extend this guy's shoe like all the way over here. I check my hands still sometimes. I also have zero sense of direction. Oof, suffering. Let me drink some water. Although weirdly enough, one time I did learn the directions forward, back, left, and right in Chinese, and that's got a fun little thing that you do where you point your hands in the direction that you're saying, or at least that's how like I was taught it, right? Like you point your hands. It's Chen Ho Zuo Yo, forward, back, left, and right. So you go like Chen, you point your hands forward, Ho backwards, Chen Ho Zuo left, and then Yo right. And it looks silly, but I feel like it has somehow more dignity. It's hard to say. It's hard to say, but like I feel like doing that has more dignity than trying to like check your hand, because I feel like checking your hand is like is like trying to be discreet. At least with this one, you get to sing a fun little song. Okay, then over here. Hmm. Yeah, like I've never gotten lost, but I have almost steered us in the wrong direction once or twice. It's a good thing I don't drive, otherwise I'd be in big trouble. Alright, that should be good for shading or shadows, I think. Actually, we'll add a little bit more here for the big guy. Maybe not that far. Maybe like this far back. There we go. Alright, we move this here. Right, we also need to make sure to add the mask layer. Select color gamut, this one here. Oh yeah. Alright, so get this. I learned recently that apparently some egg suppliers in Illinois. I read a CBS article about this. Some egg suppliers in Illinois are hurting big time because there was this lawsuit which ordered $17.7 million in damage. Now you might be thinking, Pabs, is this at all related to that time like back 4-5 months ago when everybody was suddenly complaining about the price of eggs? And surprisingly, no. This is unrelated to that. It's apparently the bulk of the gouging took place in like between 2004 and 2008, right? The article even said that jurors were instructed to like not consider recent changes in egg pricing. They were like, "All right, fellas, I know it's been a hard couple of months. You know, we've all seen it, right? Egg cartons going for $10 a carton, $12 a carton, $14 a carton. We're all sick and tired of it. But I need you to look me in the eye and tell me, as you place your hand on that Bible, that you are not going to let that factor into your decision." I wouldn't have been able to sit on that jury. I'm not going to lie. I would not pass the proverbial egg vibe check. Sad though that is. Yeah. I also learned that apparently because the whole thing kind of stepped on the toes of like an actual antitrust policy like that's in place, they don't just pay the $17 million. They actually have to pay triple that, being the actual damages are closer to $53 million. Yeah. Apparently, a bulk of the... I hesitate to call it fraud, but that is what it is. A majority of like the incident took place because of the fact that they were like doing some bullshit exporting the eggs strategically and creating like an artificial famine for them. It was like a very strategic reduction of egg laying. Like it wasn't just like exporting; it was also like they were like, you know, getting rid of some egg laying chickens too, which is kind of insane if you think about it. Also, kind of insane that it's only gotten resolved this year when it was like what 20 years ago now, almost. I feel like that the article didn't discuss that enough. Why did it take them 20 years to like get to this point? Also, I really, really hope I haven't been coloring the boots wrong this whole time. Let me check on some of the other pages real quick. Let's be like, the boots being brown like that, is that normal? Is that supposed to be always that like that? But okay, no, I got them right on page 2, and I don't think we see them in page 3, do we? Whenever I open up one of these pages, I enter a small bit of panic because the sheer file size occasionally means that it takes a while to load, and I get a little bit worried. I do express my concern in those circumstances. I also need to go back to panel 1 and recolor that. While we're at it, there we go. Easy enough. But yeah. God, the fact that they had to tell people to not consider recent changes in egg pricing is a little bit insane, though. Like, I get that you need to be objective, but like, it's hard not to carry a grudge for that sort of thing, I feel. All right, where were we? Right. The boot. Okay, so I missed the little front part of the boot here. I remember the holster though. Big win. Now I don't even care if I get the rest of it wrong. I just need to get the holster right because I remember really struggling with that the first issue round. Man, I wish I had normal mortal enemies instead of abstract concept. You can't fight the sensation of forgetting to draw something. Unless you give yourself brain damage or something, but that's not really a productive use of your time. Or it might be, I don't know. Everybody's circumstances are different, but generally speaking, getting brain damage is not a productive use of your time. Okay, there we go. Was there a circumstance? I feel like there was like one historical case where they did pay a guy to get brain damage, but I don't think that's true. I feel like it must have happened at some point. Somebody must have gotten brain damage. I mean, in the filming of Jackass, probably they paid somebody theoretically to get brain damage. I don't know. I've never seen that movie as a problem, or that documentary, I suppose. I think it's probably a good thing. Although without Jackass, we wouldn't have Travis Touchdown, which is a sentence that is 100% true, actually. That's not an exaggeration. Travis Touchdown's character design was inspired by the main guy of Jackass, which is something that still it still tracks to this very day, unsurprisingly. I did forget I think I might have forgotten the holster in this panel. Just a little bit, I might have forgotten the holster. I will not cry about it. I am a very brave man and normal about art. I think I might have forgotten it. And no, wait. In this one, it would have been hidden behind the leg. I'm vindicated. Let's go. Well, I should still probably draw something there. I don't even need to shade it. It's just a little bit. There we go. My own brain thought it could catch me slipping, huh? Fat chance. All right, so here's what we do. We're gonna grab the color back here, add it to this part here, and then we're going to use a shading color on this second layer here. And we're gonna forget that I ever forgot that, okay? Okay. Wait, no, actually we need a little bit more of the holster. Okay, then we add this here. And a little bit like this. We just need to be a little bit careful about where we aim. Thankfully, the vector eraser is pretty small, so we don't need to be too worried about accuracy. Okay. Now where the hell were we? Right, the holster on this panel. We already have this thing enabled, the right color, so we might as well touch up everything that uses that right now. I'm guessing I went back to edit this page at some point and then didn't manage to get everything right the first time, because this is one messed up back. There we go. All right, now the gloves, then the helmet, the gloves again. Am I missing anything? I think that's most of it. I wonder if I can set like speedrunning goals for myself with some of this shading. I feel like it would be interesting just having like a timer there in the background, although it would be more like a co-working stream. I don't know. How do speedrunners maintain entertainment during their live streams? Because I know speedrunning is like a category of live streaming, but I wouldn't know how to. I guess you can commentate on whatever you're doing, right? Just kind of like narrate out loud what you're doing, but that's kind of already what I do. I feel like if I had to get any faster, I would just have to get my brain off the talking. That sounds dangerously close to a skill issue, though. I guess I should just practice on working faster while I'm talking as well. Oops. Not that fast. Okay, we're gonna grab the wings and then the coloring here. I think unless I'm mistaken, I think the thrusters have the same color as the boot's darker leather, but I'm gonna double check just to make sure. Yeah, no, they have the same color. Lovely. I did the goggles, so that means I can do the back of the jetpack too. Okay, I missed a little spot right here, but that's fine. The gun is generally the same color as the jetpack, except for this middle part. This needs to be this color. This needs to be... what color? This color. Oh, and Dala! Hey everybody, how you guys doing? Welcome to the stream. I'm Pabs, a racing VTuber and an artist. We're working on a comic page today. How's your stream? Let's see. Shout out. There we go. Oh, were you playing Yakuza? Nice. Or what were you guys what are you guys up to? Pretty fun trying out the new Warframe update. Ah, I see. Nice. Did you have fun? I never managed to get into Warframe, so I don't have a good idea of like what the gameplay is like. But I'm glad you had fun. Let's see. I had a reference for the soldier guys here. Think I forgot to update the category? Well, that's okay. I think you can go up to your video, whatchamacallit. I forget the name of it. The video producer, and in there you can actually change the category of VODs that have already been uploaded if you keep them in Twitch. Unless you're me. If I get the category wrong, they do clap me in irons for an entire fortnight after stream. Yeah, no, they put me on the stocks too. Yeah, they get the peasants their vegetables to pelt me with. I do have to wear a silly little jester's cap while I do it too. Every time they try, I try to escape them, but they are so very fast and cunning. It was a pretty short update. It was mostly just set up for the next big expansion. Ah, kind of like a prologue, huh? Neat though. I don't know. I feel like ever since mobile games have taken over the massive online multiplayer market, I feel like there's been less emphasis on just like nice, slow, steady build up. Well, I'm guessing that's more of a quality thing, not something that was introduced with mobile games. Actually, come to think of it, I can probably put this guy in like the full shadow colors, or like the full shaded colors, rather. Or on the other hand, it might be a good idea to just like, hang on, whoop. Dang, my fill tool is hella finicky. I don't know what's been wrong with it these past few days. It has more and more problems staying within the lines. I don't know if I'm just drawing the lines too thin now. If I am, that's a problem too, because my only option would be to draw on a bigger canvas and use a bigger brush. Well, I'll take it as it comes. Yeah. So I found out today. All right, what's the weirdest thing you've heard alcohol be made out of? Last time during the Cube Divination stream, we talked about cactus, about like the possibility of cactus wine or cactus or distilled cactus stuff, right? And apparently, it's not actually very good. So that's one of the weirdest ones that I've heard of before. Today, I learned that they're apparently making a Doritos Spirit. Yeah, apparently a microbrewery, or I guess at what point does it stop being a microbrewery? Because at what point does it go from a microbrewery to a macrobrewery? How? Apparently, they do incorporate Doritos in there, in like some of the batch. But from what I understand, it's they didn't give the exact process away, but effectively, this one distillery called Empirical has made a collaboration with Doritos. They advertised it as Empirical X Doritos captures all the indulgent flavors of your favorite nacho cheese in liquid form. Available starting, that's from the official site. Apparently, it's available starting January 2024 if you pre order it. Yeah. The Global News article says that it has tasting notes of nacho cheese, corn tostada, umami, and a hint of acidity. God. It'll run you apparently $65, which seems like a lot, but it feels reasonable for such a strange experience. Yeah. There was this Washington Post reporter called M. Carrie Allen who tried it out apparently as well, and she said, "When I lowered my snout into a tasting glass of this stuff, damned if I wasn't swept into a powerful, sensual memory of inhaling Doritos on a lunch break in my car, back during my divorce in 2004. I want off this wacky ride. Unfortunately, no." You sit here and drink your Doritos Locos Tacos cocktail. Apparently, they did actually release some cocktail recipes with this as well. They released one called a Bangarang, which I was not aware was not the name of a Skrillex song exclusively. Brings back those divorce memories. I don't know if that's a condemnation or like or praise for the thing. Like you just give somebody a snifter of one of these to somebody, and they're like, "Oh yeah, takes me to when the wife took the kids." Like, is that a mark of success, or is like it evokes powerful scent memories for sure? But like, is that also the most recent time this person has had Doritos? Like, is it that like they were too traumatized to ever try it ever again? Was it like was it like a subconscious thing, or like how? Why is this the first time in years that you're trying out Doritos in this form? It's like, is that like her bit though? Like, is her bit just like saying like this reminds me of my divorce? I mean, I guess you ought to try and milk that for as much as you can, but like, geez, lady. But yeah, insane that that's an actual thing that you can buy or pre-order now. I suppose. Like I said, it's coming out in 2024, early next year. Oh god. Funnier still is that in that global news article that I read about this, they did go into detail about like how it was first conceived, and apparently the boss of one of the guys working at the distillery confiscated a bag of Doritos. And I was like, you know what? I don't think it's enough that I'm like taking these away from a hardworking employee. I'm gonna throw these into like the malt mixer or whatever the fuck they use. And then it came out and they were like, hang on a minute, we could use this. Apparently they didn't confiscate it with like the intent to be mean. They like confiscated the Doritos with the intent. The word confiscate is doing a lot of heavy lifting in like the word picture that I'm conjuring of this scene is the problem. Like when they say confiscate, I'm picturing like this guy like took his employees' Doritos, tripped, let them fall into the vat of whatever stuff they used to brew the liquor, or I guess the spirit. I guess I have already forgotten. Somebody was nice enough to explain to me during the Cube Divination stream the differences between wines, spirits, and liqueurs. But I remember wines are generally made from fruit. I remember that that was one of the sticking points, but I don't remember much else about it. But yeah, I think that whatever they said about like the process of making this thing was probably bullshit, because ain't no way. Either you must have been heavily drunk yourself. I don't think any rational person would be like, "Yo, we should try and do this." I don't think that I don't think that Doritos approached them first for this, because I feel like Doritos would not have taken this chance by themselves. Which begs the question, which one of the rubes working at Empirical suddenly decided that this would be a good idea? Like, you know that there's this like old myth, right? That like Dove soap bars were first made when some dude accidentally left the machine on for like twice as long as usual and found that the soap floated in there now, right? Like that's a very well known myth about Dove bars. It's not true, by the way. I know for a fact that it isn't true. But like then what is the truth? How did this come to be? This doesn't happen in ordinary circumstances. Indeed, we live in extraordinary times. We've sent people to space, and there's a Tasada flavored spirit going around. I keep almost calling it a liqueur. I know better now. I keep flirting with it though. I'm gonna slip one of these days. I need y'all to hold my hand and tell me that you're not gonna be mad at me when I do that. When I do eventually forget the difference between spirits and liqueurs. All right, there we go. And then we can just add this here. Just a little bit of upkeep right here. But yeah, shout out to that one Washington Post reporter who was like, "Ah, yes, this does remind me of my divorce." What a legend, honestly. They could not waterboard out of me that I was like in my divorce. I've never been divorced or married for that matter. But I feel like you don't bring up the memory of like you sopping into like a bag of Doritos during your divorce very easily. I feel like I feel like that one was kind of waiting to come out a little bit, right? Like you don't bring that up unless like you've been meaning to talk about it. Although I do know that nowadays it's not uncommon to like celebrate a divorce. I remember that there's like actual divorce party markets now. I remember reading that somewhere that there's like a divorce party market or like a divorce party culture, which makes sense, right? In a lot of cases, divorces are a result of an onerous marriage. It simulates the experience of being divorced. Well, if I wanted that, I'd just buy a Funko Pop. Hey. Or I don't know, one of those life-size stormtrooper statues. I don't know why that's my go-to dig at divorced people. Like, divorced guys always seem to get those life-sized stormtrooper statues. I think that's like a spin-off of like the man cave thing. For some reason, I don't recall precisely why I started saying it, but like I recall that it was related to that. Epic Divorce Simulator 2023. Soon to be 24. Fucking crazy that by the end of the week we're going to be halfway through December. Where did it all go? Like, I feel like it should still be August. It's not right. Let's see. Okay, we're going to use this one here. Man, I hope this makes sense with the lighting and everything. Something about this doesn't seem right. But this does. This does seem right. Let me use the hard eraser here. Okay, let's see. Oh god. Speaking of divorced people, I bet that Elon Musk is going to take a picture of one of these stupid things. That's really going to bum out whoever bought it for the genuine novelty of it. I really hope this doesn't become a Rick and Morty something or other chicken sauce packet situation. That would truly be the worst thing to come out of this. Perhaps save for the liquor itself, which might be of questionable quality. Speaking of, wasn't there like a thing of liquor that like Tesla used to sell? Like I remember they used to sell like these liquor bottles and they kept exploding because the glass was crappy or something. I swear that was a thing that happened not too long ago. Okay, we can turn up the... I was about to say volume on this. Let's see, okay. Got a lot of negative space here. I'm thinking of moving maybe the skybox a little bit. Maybe so it's like more focused on like a cloud part than a part like that. I think also the shading on the guys is going to be important. Also, I do need to draw the rest of this gentleman's legs. I did forget to do that. That's on me. That's my bad. I will also need to draw shadows on top of the columns here to have Hawk's shadow kind of like actually have an effect on the atmosphere, although I will fill in this part here. And let me put all of these into one layer so I know what I'm doing. And I think I'll actually add a... I had a second shadow in here, right? Let me add that here. Okay. Let's finish out that other guy's legs first. I'm gonna need to make this guy's legs kind of small. Sorry, bro, you are not gonna be playing ball in this lifetime. Old Sergeant Stumpy Legs, they used to call him. His sitting height was greater than his standing height. I don't think that's actually feasibly achievable, to be honest, to have your sitting height be higher than your standing height. I do think that should be, like, theoretically speaking, not impossible per se, but you'd have to be very, very short. Also, I'm realizing now that I put this in the wrong layer. I mean, no, hang on. I forgot how sitting height is measured. Is it like, do you subtract the height of the chair, or is it just kind of like standardized? Is there like a standardized sitting height chair? I don't know. I think standing height works best as a kind of relative scale of your height. I think sitting height is able to measure like the size of your legs, right? Because like if you know how tall your torso is, you'd be able to tell how long your legs are. Right, I think it was supposed to like take legs out of the equation and figure out how long those are. But I guess that's not very useful, right? Because like if you're standing, right, you generally know how tall you are. So you also know how tall you are in relation to others and how tall other people should be in relation to you. You know, if somebody says like, "Oh, I'm 180 centimeters tall," and you're like, "Oh, I'm 175," that means that they're taller than I am. I feel like that's useful. I don't know, sitting height. Mm, it's a little hard for me to piece together the uses of that. Unless you're somebody who regularly buys stockings, I don't know. In that case, I could see that being useful in terms of like for the measurements, right? But other than that, I don't think stockings actually come in like degrees of how well they fit a certain size range, do they? Generally, they come in like large, small, or extra large. I don't know. I did buy stockings once. I bought them once because I wanted to try making a mic boom for my headset mic. Not even a mic boom, a whatchamacallit, pop filter. I don't know. I've been thinking about replacing my whole audio microphone thing because sometimes I notice that my closes are a little loud. I'm not gonna actually like say what's wrong with it because then people will notice what's wrong with it. I already kind of told them where the money was hidden. This is not Hawk's boot. This does not look like that. Hang on. There we go. Yeah, Hawk's boot has like a bulb toe. This one has more like a sabaton shape. Yo, check out this guy's like off leg though. But yeah, anyway, I was trying to get a pop filter done for my mic. I had two options, right? First option was to buy a pop filter off of the internet, and I tried to do that, but the problem is that I think it was like a drop ship thing. I didn't know that Amazon does drop ship stuff because like I bought it when it said like, "Oh, we're about to run out," or like I did buy it during that time, but the problem is that like I always think that those are bluffs. So either they didn't get enough to like justify the drop shipping. Actually, let me pull up the email right now. I don't order from Amazon very easily, so I should be able to find it. Hang on. It shouldn't be too hard to find. Amazon.ca. Item canceled. Here we go. Due to lack of availability, we will not be able to obtain the following items. Okay, so I think that maybe they did run out. But yeah, anyway, I try to get like a 10 pack of the mini size, whatchamacall, pop filters for my microphone. But that failed pretty miserably. So instead, I was like, you know what? I might as well just try getting the I might try doing that thing where people put a sock over their microphone, but the problem is the sock is actually kind of big for like a headset mic. So I bought some stockings and I wrapped them like 5 or 6 times around the microphone, and I didn't notice a major difference. So I was like, all right, time to give it up. Also, the problem here is that like it's. Oh wait, hang on. I think I have an idea for how to do this a little bit more cleanly. Hang on, check this out. All right, so if I duplicate this, merge those, and then make them slightly blurred. And then maybe even a little bigger than they were before. A little lower too. There we go. Maybe move this one a little bit to the right, left. I'm going to say left. Maybe shrink it down too. I don't know. Is that... Maybe if I lower their luminosity too. Hang on. Edit, tonal correction, brightness, contrast. Lower the brightness, decrease the contrast. I think hue, saturation, luminosity would be a little better. Okay, I did not mean to do that. I need to remember to... Somebody remind me to turn on the time lapse next time I start a new panel, because that way I can get a little something something for the feed. I think also if I move these trees a little further up in the background here. How can I provide the maximum tree experience? I think having them be dark like this is probably for the best. Also, I'm going to run an ad now because it's about time. Everybody plug your ears for 30 or 40 seconds. Oop. Misjudged the placement of this. All right, hang on. If I made them even bigger, would that also... Oh, can I get away with that? Hang on. What if I just had... Oh! Oh, this works also. Hang on, if I... Let me bump down the luminosity and bump up the saturation a little bit. Yeah, I think that helps a little bit. I think it helps to just have that little chunk of it be like that. It does cover off this guy's feet, but that's fine. This more or less solves everything else that was wrong with the picture, so that's... I'm willing to overlook it. Come to think of it, I want to try something else real quick. Just real quick while I do that. Which one of these is the layers? Okay. So I want to try something, right? I'm going to try to trace Hawk's vague outline. like so. Oops. All right, pretend I drew that bit correctly. I'll try something real quick to see if I can't cheat the shadows a little bit. This is going to be like a little bit of an experiment, you see. All right, so now we flip it this away. Flip this away. Or maybe flip it that away. No, definitely this away and then that away. Okay, and now we... Yeah, okay, hang on. Okay, this works. Kind of. Nothing else, it's kind of telling me that I'm on the right track for the most part. So yeah, I'm basically trying to use the tool here to figure out where I should be drawing each of these things. So it turns out that I need to be drawing a little bit more of the heel pointed upward a little bit. So I'm going to compromise. Okay, then like this, then like this. There we go. All right, and that's how you do maximum effort, minimum effort. We do a little bit more of the Millipen right here. There we go. All right, now we get to actually shade the people in the painting. Yeah, the columns are pretty much done. Then now all that's left is these folks. I should save my progress. I should also try shading using the ordinary pen. I should also try, hang on, there we go, making sure that these stay within the lines. Like I said, it's been a real problem recently that the lines have been that the paint has been going past the lines. It's especially embarrassing. This isn't like 5th grade, right? Wait, no, you get taught to color within the lines within like elementary school. Or pre-kinder even. This isn't pre-kinder. We should not be having issues or rebuttals on whether or not to color within the lines. Okay, and then... Wait, no, this whole leg would actually be this color because it's supposed to be behind him. All right, we can turn this around. Trust. Now, what we would want to do, however, is actually do this arm too. Okay. Yeah, every part of this guy that's within like shadow, we need to tap with this color right now. It'll actually be this bit, a little bit over here, maybe not. Just a little patch of light. And then the rest of this arm would probably be use the G pen. Okay, then just a little bit of shading right here. Oh yeah. So, in exciting news today, I read a story about Franco Rubio, a NASA astronaut, who has successfully beaten some tomato eating allegations. So, to set up the story, right, according to Space.com, Rubio and his crew were part of an experiment called Veg 05. Presumably, the first one is called Veg 01, which would have been like Veggie, which I think would have been pretty funny. But anyway, this must be the fifth iteration of that experiment. Anyway, the whole goal of Veg 05 is to figure out like the effects of growing plants in space, right? I feel like that's something that should have been extensively studied already. Maybe it wasn't, maybe it was. I don't know much about the history of the research. But in any case, that's what he and his crew were there to do. And during March of this year, they actually successfully harvested some of the produce that they grew on board the ISS. So congratulations to them. Apparently, each crewmate from that expedition was given one of the cherry tomatoes that they were growing. They grew some other stuff too, peppers, I think, or among them, among us. But anyway, Rubio's tomato mysteriously went missing. So naturally, for the entire time he was there, the other crewmates kept razzing him, saying that he'd eaten the tomato instead of safely tucking it away in a Ziploc bag as they were supposed to be. Worse yet, apparently Rubio had like a milestone among astronauts because he stayed in space for over a year, a little over a year, if I recall correctly. He was originally only supposed to be up there for 6 months, but the spacecraft that took him up there got broken. Like it had some kind of problem. And so now he had to spend like an extra unplanned double stay, which must have been absolutely miserable, not just because he couldn't see his family, but also because of the tomato eating allegations. Like, imagine you're on board one of the most prolific scientific vessels of our time, just doing your thing, measuring these fucking tomatoes. You start getting accused of eating one, and you laugh along at first, but then it starts to become pretty clear that they're like genuinely liking messing with you, and it's not that great of a time. And you're like, man, this sucks. I want to go home, and then you find out you have to stay there for 6 more months. Awful experience, awful experience. But yeah, today they recently found the tomato, so he's beaten the allegations. So what a thing to be accused of. That man ate a tomato on the ISS. Frankly, if you survive eating any space-grown food, I think you should be given a medal. Like, if you can get away with that, you should be given a medal. I'm just imagining like every single scientist who tries to low key or high key eat some of the space produce immediately gets like 6 other science dudes on top of them, trying to like get it out like the jaws of life. Okay, then like this, like this. Man, Ooh, wait, hang on. What would the shadow look like in this scene? Because his head is his like forehead is pointy, so it would come out, but like it would be shaded underneath. Ooh, wait, hang on. I know how to do it. All right, we shade the whole upper part, then shade this part like we would any normal metal. Then shade this top part and a little bit after that. There we go. And then like this. Then like this. And then we'll shade the inner parts with this darker color here. That doesn't feel quite right. That feels a little better. Hang on. Need to figure out something real quick. So, there we go. Okay, I figured it out. We're going to add a little bit of a shrinking of the selection here. Yes, okay, now we're cooking. I like this, okay. We'll keep going this way then. Alright, I think maybe I should add a little bit more just like right here. Because that way it looks a little bit better. Or maybe I can even expand the one down here. You know, make it 3 instead of 2 pixels. Yeah, I feel like that's a good medium. And it's fun to do too. Like this one is fun. This shading style is fun to draw. All right, we got a winner. All right. Yeah, I'm liking this. The only problem is this part up here. Not sure how to handle that one just yet. Maybe a similar principle? Hang on. I select that, shrink it by 3 pixels. And then maybe do it like this. Ooh, yeah. Going half and half was the right call. Okay, we figured out the shading stuff for the bad guys' helmets. Let's go. Yeah, for the weapons, it's going to be much more simplistic, I think. These ones are going to be much more of a boring metal color. Okay, there we go. And then like this. Ooh, and then I need to remember to make the shadow for the helmet's pointy cone head. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, I'm really liking this color scheme. Okay, we'll work with that. We can also get rid of the other layers temporarily here while we shade, because I think otherwise it's going to be kind of a nightmare to deal with. Although I do need to check real quick where this guy is. Okay. So I think like maybe just the barest amount of light coming in from this direction will suit this guy. Also, I realize now that I missed some lines to clean up right here. But that's fine, that's easily repaired. Okay, erase this part here, grab this part here, shade it like this. Come on, bud. Steady hand. There we go. Oh yeah. No, I'm glad that I figured out the way to shade the grunt's armor so quickly, because I think I'll be doing this quite a lot. Okay, grab this schnoz here. Does that communicate anything? I feel like it doesn't. I feel like that's a little better. It does make his head look a little bit like a spatula, though. Not gonna lie. Come on. I thought I have close gap set to maximum. Why are you not? There we go. Hang on. Okay, there we go, like that. And then shape that, perfect. Actually, hang on, why shouldn't I just do the same thing down here? Although maybe 4 pixels instead of 3. I keep decreasing the number of pixels each time. Or increasing the number of pixels that I shrink it by, thereby also kind of decreasing it overall. Hmm. Yeah, this guy's main colors would just be like all shaded. Why is there still like a thing here? You see that there? It's like a perfect square. Where is that coming from? That shouldn't exist. Why are you like this? Why is it like that? Clip Studio Paint. You silly Billy. I say with gritted teeth and bloodlust. Okay, then we're going to darken the parts here and here. Okay, then over here. I think I colored this panel. Wait, no, this isn't even the other panel. This is like the same panel, but in a different part. Never mind. I was about to be proud of myself for coloring a panel so quickly, but then I remembered that this isn't the standalone panel, and it's just part of another one. My happiness. It was short-lived, but it was there. Okay, then do these bits right here. This bit right here. Okay, the next. It even left a like square shape here. What is your problem? Like genuinely. There's something about your painting program being a dork in such a weird way that like it just I don't know why, especially when it's like a program that I feel like I know intimately. Whenever I have like some unexplained issue with it, it makes me go a little bit more berserk form than normal. All right, now I just need to grab this part here. Yeah, that looks about right. I think this part should go on a little bit longer. Yeah, there we go. Just kind of taper that inward like that. Now then, I was trying to do something. Right, the helmet. I remember the helmet all of a sudden. If I only shaded this part, would that look odd? Yeah, a little bit. Okay. We'll have to figure out some kind of compromise. Hey, the blender brush right here. Okay, I've got an idea actually. Hang on. We're gonna make use of the gradients. Okay, then erase this part here. Or deselect that part, rather. Don't erase anything, actually. No, that doesn't feel right. I think it needs to kind of go like this, actually, yeah. And actually, we'll have a little bit of a gap here for the vine. Let's try this. Is this okay? Yeah, I feel like that'll do. What's this, though? What's this part here? What's that doing? I just do a little bit more here and there. Alright, this will do. This is how I win. I've never actually seen Uncut Gems. I'm not eager to watch it because it seems like a very confrontational movie, and I'm not generally a fan. I don't really watch those to kick back. I don't know. I feel like it would be an edifying experience, but I don't think I would enjoy it. I also need to remember to shade these guys' boots. I feel like this doesn't communicate a strong enough sense of shadow. It's too bright. Maybe if I switch it over to green, it'll make more sense. It's alright. Now that's brighter somehow. There we go. Okay, then we got to do this guy's things here. Maybe if I just do a little bit of soft erasing right here. Likewise over here, just kind of in this direction. Oops. Okay, how's that going to look with the shading? Or like with the background, I mean. It's a little all over the place is the problem. Also, what's going on here? Hang on, I can fix this. Something. What is that? Something must have happened earlier. Is this from when I tried to do that shadow experiment with Hawk's foot? Eesh. Now that had some unintended consequences. Okay. Then besides that, I feel like if I shrank the crate over here, hang on, it would make a little bit more sense in terms of perspective. May increase the size of these two to compensate. Where? All right, no, I can't do that. Unless. Oh, but then there's this huge chunk missing here, though. No, that's not right either. The problem is that I drew everything on top of each other, not in. I got a little lazy here. So it's going to be hard to rearrange the elements themselves. I do think that making the crate smaller would be a good idea, though. Alright, it shouldn't take too long to fix up. I think. So this part here and that part there. After that, it's just a little bit of patching up the works. Okay, patch up this part here. Yeah, okay, that does feel a little bit better somehow. I think I should. What might also help is if I go up to here. And have a little bit of extra shadow where this guy would be stepping. Well, I'm not sure how to do that subtly. I did mess up a little bit there. Hang on. I'm gonna get this right. Trust. Okay, then I'm gonna deselect every part here. And then I'll put him in a box, and then I'll mail myself that box. No. Okay, there we go. Now, see, the problem here is that it doesn't provide enough. Hang on. Which layer is this at? I think it's this one here, right? Okay, this should help. Check this. Use the normal pen again. There we go. Suddenly he's still stepping out of the light. But now it's a little bit more contextual. Although I did notice this weird thing that's happening over here. What's up with that? Whatever, easily erased. Oh, thank you for the Foster's check, Vent. And I'll also take a sip. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I don't think this is accurate either. I'll need to trim down this leg here. I forgot to remind you sooner. Hey, I'm glad you reminded me at all. I was feeling kind of thirsty. Hmm. Now, see, I think the main issue. Let me try something real quick. I'm gonna try something very, very quick. I'm going to blur out the background here. Filter, blur, caution blur. That's too much is the problem, I think. Hang on, I'm not close enough to be able to tell properly. Now, see, I also would have missed a little bit of the crate there, and that would have been a absolute heartbreak. All right, now we try the Gaussian blur. It does look a little better, but it's still hard to tell, like, where... The sky is too bright is the problem. Hang on, is there a way to, like... Does that work? Are we allowed to, like, just dim the sky a little bit? Well, I do always say that art is anything you can get away with. Hmm. Hang on, let me get rid of these guys real quick. Oh, there's some stuff there going on that I'm not going to address right now. Okay, so the sky... What is this, though? Okay. If I just increase this by like a couple of pixels, that should solve that problem. But then what's going to happen when I turn these guys back on? See... Everything happens so much. Whatever. I can work with this. Oh, this part too, huh? Shit. Okay, let's actually go take a few steps back real quick. All right, could I not just in theory... Let me delete this ruler, actually. Could I perhaps not just in theory use the blur brush? To make this an easier time for myself. No, it still leaves behind that weird distension there. What is that? I'm guessing it's because the sky is still visible. The skybox is there, and that's bigger than the rest of it. That's definitely why. Okay. So we need to combine everything that isn't the sky, and then worry about the sky later. I can deal with that. Whatever. I do wish there was an easier way to, like, make the layer size bigger, because I can barely read the names of the folders here. I get to see, like, 2 smidgens. Alright, let me rasterize this sucker. Alright, hang on. Here's what we're going to do. Color correction. Brightness contrast. I'm going to reduce brightness a little bit and increase the contrast. Let me see if I can't fiddle around with the coloring a little bit too. Yeah, that feels a little bit better, but I'm sure once the speech bubbles get put in, it'll be fine. Still. Let me do one last little trick. One last thing up my sleeve. Hang on. Now we're going to copy and paste these two. Hang on, I think I might have... There we go. Okay, these two we merge together. Turn off these two. And now we try the blurring effect. No, why are you still like that? Hang on, I think I might know an easy fix. Let me just reach on over here with my Millie pen. Just very lightly just kind of tag the rest of this so it's got a little bit more give back there. No, but wait, that would... Alright, you know what? I'm not going to fiddle with the blur. I don't care. I don't care anymore. It's fine, actually. It'll get covered up by the speech bubbles. I am not going to worry about all that. I must retain my own inner peace first and foremost. Also, I do need to turn on the first two layers because that's where I have all of Hawk's colors. But after that, we are set, baby. We are so back. I genuinely forgot which color this will belong to. I forgot to shade her helmet in panel 2. That's fine. Basically unnoticeable. I will still repair it, though. Okay. Okay, then over here. There we go. One more, a little bit more here, just a tiny bit more. Okay. Do I need to shade I'll do a little bit of shading for the jetpack. What the hell? These kind of little Mazinger head-shaped little shadow things. And that's it. No more. Nada más. I guess I'll do this part on the jetpack here too. Might as well. Okay. Then over here. Okay, then over here. Okay. Almost done. With this part, I mean. Okay. Gotta go back real quick and add some of the... Hang on. Do it like this, then darken. Frequency way lower. The color seems a bit off. Hang on. There we go, that's more like it. Bigger or smaller? Let's keep it like that for the time being. Okay. We'll use this layer here for the shading. Okay, so that's going to be like... select these parts here. Shrink that. Okay, so maybe if we use slightly lower hardness and then have this right here. Okay, we're going to add a little bit of a thing right here. That thing is called a line. I should be able to remember that. And yet, somehow I did not. All right, then over here. Now this should be about right. This doesn't feel right though. If I just make it a... Can I just like... Let's start over real quick. I've got to stop trying to take these shortcuts, man. All right. Try that again. Okay, we shrink it by 4 pixels. That part was fine. And then we're going to do this instead of the other thing that we did, which was not this. Or maybe, hang on, would it just be better to go like this? Yeah, I think that and then this. Yeah, there we go, that'll do it. Okay, right here, shrink that selection. Fill that with a normal paint bucket tool, and then yeah, that'll do. All right. Save real quick. Grab this. Okay. Yeah, I've learned a neat trick that for the back of the jetpack, I can basically do 2 lines and call it a day. Although for this middle part here, I can do a little bit more effort. Or rather, a little bit of a special treatment. The wings, though, I don't get so stingy with. Or do I? No. I mean, kind of. I feel like this is a good opportunity to be stingy. Yeah, I think that's fine, actually. We can afford to be a little stingy. Get rid of this little line here. Shrink that down. Okay, then over here. Okay, then over here. We can do something similar to the base of the jetpack for the top of the hat here, and just shade little parts of it and then cut away other parts. This is good though. I'm finding the rhythm. I'm starting to get faster at this. I think grouping together the shading process has helped me avoid a little bit of additional downtime in trying to remember the motions each time. Now I just have to go panel by panel to remember. Okay, shrink that down. Can I actually get a little bit bigger with the... Yeah, there we go. Okay, then over here. Perfect. We can add a little bit of a streak here as well. That should work too. In the meantime, for the goggles and the leather. Come on, bud. Now the problem is also that the light is coming in from this direction over here, right? So that's a little bit difficult in terms of for me where to put some of the shading stuff. It forces me to put it into a certain perspective, which is tougher. Not much tougher, mind you, but definitely a little. It adds something to the challenge. Okay, then over here. Okay. I think I can get this. All right, here we go. I don't know. Should I add a little bit of light of where the jet stream is coming out? I never really established with Raph like the properties of this thing. That's fine. This all kind of melts together anyway. All right, how much you guys want to bet I can finish this panel before the next ad break? I got about 8 minutes before I'm forced to take one. I bet I could do it. Hang on. Okay, we'll add a little bit of light here. The neat thing about parts like this is that I get to subtract a little bit, right? Like I know for a fact that you wouldn't be able to see a little bit of light right here, for example. Also, likewise right here. With a few streaks of the shadow color still coming in through here and there. I think that's the best way to do this. Okay, then over here. After this, it would just be shading the leather, and then after that, I think I'm good. Well, shading the leather more, I mean. Let's not lose focus, though. The shirt is the main concern right now. Divide and conifer, or whatever that one guy said. Actually, I think it might have been multiple guys throughout history who have said that at one point. Divide and conifer, me, when I'm a park ranger deciding which trees should grow this season. Actually, I don't think park rangers get to decide that. I don't think they have the kind of like divine power to say which trees grow at what time. You know, I don't think most park rangers get to be judge, jury, and executioner of nature. I mean, maybe they do. I've never met a park ranger before. I have heard of the bear, though. I do know the smoked bear. The bear of smoke. He who was called when the fires arise. I know that Japanese mythology has like a god of flames. Do you think Smokey the Bear is the equivalent of that in like American mythology? Or in like Americana? Do you think he fulfills a similar role? I think they're like I remember reading in one manga, so I don't know how accurate this is to real life, but it might be based on a real life anecdote that somebody climbed a mountain to get a charm against fire protection for their kitchen. And like that's the thing that people do sometimes in that area. But again, first of all, no way to verify the veracity of this, and two, I don't. That would be kind of like the equivalent of putting up a like tiny Smokey the Bear figurine near your campfire in order to make sure that it doesn't go up in smoke. I don't think the fire protection charm works in campfires, so that's still an untapped territory. You know, it's like slightly different ranges of effectiveness on fire protection. That's why you must always remember to be responsible with fire. You don't know whose God's jurisdiction you're playing around in. Could be the benevolent Smokey, could be something else. Don't take the chance. Practice fire safety. All right, we finished this and we have 3 minutes left before we need to get to an ad break, so I'm gonna just end streaming here. We did a panel. We finished the panel. All right. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.